I think the coalition as currently structured is a lot of hype. Is a lot of hot air. Ultimately, I believe the coalition is going to unravel. You have a lot of people with what we call vaulting ambition in that coalition, and they are essentially, they now become strange bedfellows. When you have a mix of Rotimi Amechi who wants to vie for that office, you have Peter Obi who wants to vie for the office, you have Atiku who wants to vie for the office. Those are the three main people we know, and there are other people also who want to vie for the office. So ultimately, you will see there's going to be a lot of jostling and infighting. And I believe that in the next few weeks to the next few months, the coalition will unravel. We already see it happening. For the fact that they just speak about ADC as the vehicle for the coalition, and they are all afraid to take membership in ADC, is because they know that the reality is that anybody who makes the move of entering ADC knows that his political ambition or his aspiration for that office is dead on arrival, knowing that there is a serious fight, there are serious legal issues in the ADC. So that's why I say it's a lot of hot air. They are manipulating the minds of ordinary Nigerians. People always have this sentiment of a sentiment that's always against the big man. So in this case, the big man today is President Tinubu. It could be anybody else, any other president. There is not about the president or what the president is doing. As long as the president is president, it's always easier to be in opposition than to be the ruling party. It's always easier to have something to say. So yes, you have a lot of Nigerians, their emotions, and we have to also understand that things are truly difficult right now. So they are manipulating minds of the people for their own personal interests, and I can assure you that sooner than later it will all unravel as they start fighting themselves. But ADC as a vehicle to coalition is certainly not happening. Well, understand this first and foremost. For over 2 years, ADC has not had a national working committee, has not had a chairman, right? When the tenure of the last chairman, Rafonso, lapsed over 2 years ago, he tried to manipulate the constitution of the party to get an extension, and we refused and rejected it, and then proceeded to court. And 2 courts in Nigeria ruled in our favor that his tenure had lapsed. But a party that has been there for 18 years, you know that they always have relationships with INEC where they are able to have their way. So for every single time we won those cases, they are manipulating. They are an INEC. They're trying to manipulate things, and so that they continue to stay there, because Nwosu, that party, has the one party that they always use for trading between themselves and INEC people, right? And when I joined the party and realized that they had hoodwinked me, I promised them that it would never happen again. Nobody would ever fall victim to what ADC had been doing for 18 years. So yes, there's no NWC, there's no chairman. So if there's no chairman, you cannot build something on nothing. Who then is the person that David Mark, Arebochola, Atiku, and others are transacting with to say they want to come into the party? Who are they transacting with? We saw Nwosu handing a flag to them, a man who is not chairman of the party handing a flag to them that they accepted, and he now appointed them. Do you appoint chairman? Our constitution makes it clear that it is only by convention. There's no convention, there's no special convention, there's nothing has happened. So they know. That is why Atiku has not come into the party. That is why Peter Obi has not come into the party. That is why Rotimi Amechi has not come in. That is why El Rufai has not come into the party. They know that there are monumental legal issues, and I understand that they are feeling their way through the court system, trying to see which courts, if they can manipulate and manage the court processes and continue to manipulate INEC and see if they will make it through unscathed. That's what they are currently doing. And I keep on saying to them that I am a long distance runner. In this battle, if they choose to prosecute their mission in this battle, I can assure them, and saying this to Nigerians, I can assure them that nobody should blame me when they don't have a platform to run in that election. Nobody should say that Dumebi Kachikwu is the reason why such and such coalition or such and such a person did not run. Because I've told them ab initio that this party will never be a platform for disgruntled politicians, geriatric politicians to come and continue to disturb the peace of Nigeria. Well, definitely, I made it clear. Definitely, I'm running, but the party does not belong to me. It's not a supermarket business. It's not a perfume. It's not a purse. You understand? So I, like any other Nigerian, can actually aspire to run for office on the platform of the ADC. All I'm saying is that those who choose to hijack the party through the back door, they will find that they are going nowhere. But I welcome any and all Nigerians to come in. I want a contest of ideas. I want credible people to come in. Let's have viable primaries and let the best man emerge, and we'll support that person. In fact, when I went to the ADC, I went to the ADC because you had people like Mohalu aspiring there. And for me, I just wanted a place where you can have a contest of ideas, and if you win, so be it. If you don't win, support the person that has won. And because we have monumental issues in Nigeria, you have to understand that our country is besetted by major problems. We have major headwinds still ahead of us. We have a generational challenge where the people who currently rule us politically, so when you take a President Tinubu or you take the likes of Atiku, Pitobi, and all these people, they are a generation that has brought us as a nation to our knees. And you can't have the same people who have brought us to this point, who have messed us up, still continue to say they are the ones who are going to fix the problem. My generation has lost out completely in terms of leadership. We've offered nothing to our nation. And if given the opportunity, most of us will fail because we're not prepared for leadership. We are now hoping that the generation that comes after us, even though they are an angry generation, they are a generation who wants to just destroy, that we can then manage and mold them so that they can take over the baton, the mantle of leadership from us. But we must fight this fight. It's a fight that we must fight. Nobody gives you power like that. You have to fight for the power. If we think that these old fogies are just going to bend over and say, oh, it's not going to happen. We have to take them into an arena different from what they are used to. So their politics is a politics of insults, abuses, accusation. You challenge them, and the first thing they say is, oh, Tinubu is sponsoring him. This person is doing this. That person is doing that. That is the politics they've played. But bring them into the arena of solutions, of ideas, and they fail. The reality for us as a people, as a country, is that we don't have any national or social cohesion. We're still plagued by north, south, east, and west. We're still plagued by religion, Christianity, Islam. We are still plagued by not having the basics, the fundamentals. Look at our educational system in total disarray in the year 2025. Look at our economy. Look at the fact that most people are not able to eat, considering where President Buhari left our economy. I know whatever they are paying you, I know that there's absolutely no way in Nigeria of today that your salary gets you anywhere past 10 days. That is the reality of most Nigerians, and that's you go as a job. What are the tens of millions who don't have jobs? Well, infrastructural deficit. What are the solutions to all of these things? The security challenge we have. What are the solutions? So I don't want to hear anything about an opposition who aspires or who wants to take power for the sake of power, but they have nothing to offer Nigerians. If it is the last thing I will do, I will continue to call out these people. Tell us what you will do if you were in President Tinubu's place. Instead of saying Nigeria is finished, Nigeria is this, what will you do? That's what Nigerians want to know. And why did they come to the ADC? In political circles, the ADC has always been known as a trading platform. If you want to aspire to office and say you want to, I'd say, oh, I've aspired, I've run. There are parties, all these mushroom parties, you go there and then they give you a ticket, you pay, and they give you a ticket or whatever it is. And the ADC has always been in the forefront of those kind of parties. When these people were looking for a platform to run, they were looking for any vehicle that they could purchase. Remember, they tried the SDP. You saw what happened. El Rufai quickly rushed into the SDP, and Adebayo quickly shut it down. Not in this party. He won't try it here. So they moved from SDP. They started trying to register ADA. They are still having challenge with the ADA, even though we heard Rotimi Amechi said they are still continuing with the ADA, which again tells you who these people really are. So as we speak, they are trying to register the ADA, which is the vehicle onto you. So they've come into our party to disrupt our party, whereas they are trying other vehicles. So for them, anything that resembles something transactional that they can buy, that's easy for them to enter and say, tell Nigerians, this coalition is for you to unseat the president. So this was an easy thing. INEC said, some people INEC told them, that place is cheap, you can go and buy that place. And that's why they came to the ADC. Does the ADC have a structure across Nigeria? Let me tell you what I met. When I was running my primaries in the ADC, because of the security challenges in the north, we will say we are inviting our delegates from the north so that we can speak to them here in Abuja. We can tell them about us, our manifesto, what we want to do, and all those things. And so we'll arrange to bring those people to Abuja and say, oh, let us arrange transport and accommodation. One of those days, whilst addressing the delegates and everything, I finished addressing the delegates, and then as I was leaving, a fight erupted. A lady was accusing one of the state chairmen that they had to pay her. The girl happened to be a harlot that they had arranged from one of the motor parks. So most of the delegates they brought for me to address were people they just hired from the motor parks to show that they had delegates. And that is the structure of the ADC. When I was going to Kogi State during my campaign, I said I was going to do a campaign based on issues. So I wanted to have town hall meetings. So Nigerians from all walks of life could meet their presidential candidate, ask questions. Let's debate the issues. What are your challenges? So we can talk about it on an intellectual platform. We made arrangements to go to Kogi State and have a town hall in Kogi State. Unfortunately, it was when they had the floods there, so it took us almost 7 hours to get to Kogi State. I got in there and I walked into the hall, and when I walked into the hall, saying ADC, I looked around me. 7-year-old children, 9-year-old, 11-year-old children that are arranged for children to fill up the hall. So it's the old style of politics. They just pay people to fill up the hall. And that is what this generation has taught us that politics is. We watched Rotimi Amechi a few days ago arriving in Port Harcourt. We watched what happened in the north. They are showing crowds wearing ADC caps and ADC this, And that same crowd, if I'm going to Port Harcourt the next day, anybody's going there, those same people, whatever cap you give them of t-shirts, they will still wear for you. That is what we've turned Nigeria into. When President Obama was running for office, I followed his campaign. I went on his campaign tour for some stops with him. And you will see people, when people support you, when people are about you, they believe in you. At every campaign stop, they are selling t-shirts, face caps, badges. People are buying it to help fund your campaign, to support your campaign. In Nigeria, anybody just come and you pack t-shirts, buy t-shirts, and give people, and you're paying them 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira, come and fill this place and arrange people, give people money and say, and go and arrange people. So our politics has never changed. It has never been about issues. It's about hiring the poor people we have created, we've left in poverty. We hire them for political purposes. You will never see a real political campaign where it will be about issues. In the last election cycle, did we really have debates? They couldn't have the debates. They were avoiding the debates because debates will show you the emptiness of a lot of people who are aspiring to office. That's what the debates will do, and we'll never get there.